Well, guys, had you asked me before the game if I wanted the Jaguars to win this game or lose this game, I probably would have said, we'll just take the loss and get the better draft pick. We'll have a whole entire coaching staff and front office after next season and all that. But, now that we actually won a game, we won a game for the first time since week 8. It actually feels pretty damn good, not going to lie. And the way we won it with the Gardner Minshew game-winning drive to put us in a lead 20-16 with 30 seconds left, I liked it. I enjoyed seeing that. We defeated the Raiders in their last game inside of their own stadium in Oakland, which is also pretty cool. And believe it or not, this is our first win on the West Coast since we beat the Raiders in Oakland 13-6 on January 2nd, 2005. That's pretty crazy. And of all years for this to happen, it happens in one of our worst seasons that we've seen yet. But it was, seeing the Jaguars win, it was nice. It was refreshing. The last 5 games have just been painful. As you guys all know, it's been the worst 5-game stretch since the Bucks did it in 1988, which is losing 5 straight games by 5+ points. And we break that streak, which is good. And the Jaguars are back in the win column. It wasn't a very great game statistically for the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew 17 for 29, 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not really much there. He rushed for 27 yards. He actually had some decent runs this game. Fournette only had 42 yards rushing, but he tacked on 31 receiving yards, so that puts him at 73 all-purpose yards this game. Keelan Cole actually had a pretty good game. He had that long catch on the sidelines, and Chris Conley had a few good catches. But really, this is another game. The offensive line was pretty horrible all throughout the game, except for that last drive. The last drive, they actually protected him pretty well, but it's been the offensive line has still been an issue. But I would say they probably played better today than they had the last couple of games. This isn't a game that we would have won with Nick Foles. Mainly just because the offensive line and just the issues we have with the starting offensive line. With just the quarterback having to be mobile and having to be moving out of pocket. We all know the offensive line is bad, and we need to do a lot of changing on that this offseason. But defensively, we were able to sack him a good bit. When you look at Yannick Ngakoue, 2 sacks for him this game, and that puts him at 8 sacks on the season, so hopefully he can get into double-digit sacks. Speaking of double-digit sacks, our boy Josh Allen, the rookie, he just broke the rookie sack record. Now he has double-digit sacks with 10, which is really nice, and he actually had a really good game. And defensively, we actually played all right. I have no complaints about us defensively. Josh Jacobs, he had 24 rush attempts for 89 yards, so we didn't allow any 100-yard rushers like we have been. We got owned by their tight end, Waller, 122 receiving yards. But, other than that, Donald Payne definitely stuck out to me. Donald Payne was a guy that he had been on the Jaguars before, but we cut him. But he came back after we only have one linebacker on the active roster now that we had that made the original 53-man cuts, which is pretty crazy. But, he had 11 tackles, so that's pretty good. Also, Calitro had 8 tackles, so linebacker play was all right. But, we won, put up 17 points in the second half, and held the Raiders to no points. So that's pretty good, especially, the game started out and we just seemed like we were getting owned again. The Raiders marched all the way downfield, and we just thought it was going to be another one of those games. But Jaguars now 5-9. It's definitely a culture win, I guess you could say. We, I guess, lose our draft spot a little bit, but it's whatever. Is what it is. The Rams lost today, and also the Minnesota Vikings won and the Seahawks won, which kind of helps out the wild card spot to make sure that the Rams don't get into it, and hopefully we get a top 20 pick from them, because it's all about the future at this point. But the Jaguars win. Last game in Oakland, Jaguars, that's pretty cool. The last game played in that historic stadium was a Jaguars win, which is cool to say. We broke that West Coast losing streak. 2005, that is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was 11 years old in 2005. That's crazy. So yeah, the Jaguars, we won, whatever. cool. I was happy about it. It was cool seeing Gardner Minshew go out there. Gardner Minshew, I mean, didn't have the best of days, definitely, but, you know, it's still evaluation time for him because we're going to have a top pick next year, and a new GM is going to have to make a decision on what the hell they want to do at quarterback. So that's all I got, guys. Jaguars win 20-16 against the Raiders. Now the Jaguars improved to 5-9, while the Raiders fall to 6-8, who have been having their struggles of lately. Oakland, had a winning record at one point, and then just has been a little bit of a downfall since then. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Go Jags. I'm out.